All right, here's my third video regarding my intuitive hit about this diabetes client. And I want to talk just briefly about the development of spiritual gifts and the ethics of it. And this is something that I'm hoping to have a workshop on sometime in the future. But anyway, so in my story, I mentioned that I was intaking a client that she was complaining about some tingling and that she feels like her arm is going dead, right, from her neck pain. And at that moment, even though I just talked to her for like 3 minutes and I didn't really look at her, I didn't interview her medical history. And I said, I got a hit in my mind, and it's like, it could be the word diabetes, or it could have been just like an inner knowing. Like, it's really hard to tell in that moment. Was it like my inner monologue saying the word diabetes, or did I just become aware of the word diabetes? But for whatever reason, it came up in my mind. And because I've trained myself to know the subtle distinction between my own generative thoughts and also the thoughts coming from my spiritual guides working with me, that I immediately knew it was like this urging to like, hey, tapping on my shoulder, like diabetes. And I was like, okay, and I got that hint in my mind. So it's just like an invitation to explore, why is diabetes related to this client? So I asked her, and this is where I need to train myself to be more open, because I was watching that channeler this morning and he didn't ask leading questions. And so this is another part about that I'm realizing with my trauma, dealing with healing my trauma, is that we're often framing our present reality based on interpretations or assumptions that we're making from our past learnings. So in this case, I, for whatever reason, skipped to asking her if she had diabetes, and I went to asking her about, does diabetes run in your family? And maybe it's a little bit less interrogative, like, do you have diabetes? Like, why are you asking me this so randomly? Like, we're not talking about diabetes at all. So maybe I did that as a protection technique for myself to not look like I'm crazy, but also like, I don't even know how else am I going to bridge that gap. Like, I just need to ask her, like, straight up, why is diabetes related? Because that's what my spiritual team is telling me to ask you, like, so random. So I was like, does anyone in your family have diabetes? And she's like, I have diabetes. And I'm like, oh, really? What kind of diabetes do you have? And she's like, type 2 diabetes. And so I was like, okay, so have you had any other neuropathy symptoms other than the neck thing? And she's like, yes, I have. I've had sciatica in my sacrum, and it's neither on the right nor the left, it's right in the center. So then I already knew, okay, now we can, and even if it was just that one invitation to ask her a question, super helpful, because I get to skip through all of this, incredible work to figure out about this client. And I just met her like 5 minutes ago. And now we can get straight to the point. Okay, here's what I need to tell you and convey to you about what I just learned with diabetes. And like I mentioned in my previous story video, is that I was treating someone else just the week before who had invited me to help them with herbal medicine research to see how holistic health could have an offering for them, because they feel like they've reached the end of the Western medical paradigm and now they're looking at other options. So what I want to talk about in this video is, how does one develop, and this is such a huge topic, but let's just talk about it in the context of this particular scenario. So in order for me to have the ethics to share with someone my intuition, sometimes I will ask directly, like, would you be open to hearing a message? But in this case, there wasn't anything that I'm telling her that she, like, that was, leading her to have a certain conclusion. So I can just ask her outright, could this be relevant? And so in this case, I felt safe to do that and all these things. But sometimes, if I'm not feeling really clear in my body, and also I could be subject to my own projection, like I'm projecting something that is coming from me, not through me. And so the distinction that needs to be curated with what I want to teach my clients, because I truly believe that every person has the ability to develop spiritual gifts in some capacity, because we are channels. We are the pivot between heaven and earth. We are multidimensional beings. So our body is constantly communicating messages to us that most of us are so disassociated that we are not aware that those are actually messages coming through us, not from us. And once we develop this relationship with our body, we begin to develop self-trust. And man, I could do a whole nother series about the journey of self-trust in me making poor judgments of people's character, deluding myself, being an illusion. How do we find the truth, quote unquote? And for me, it's realizing that there is no quote unquote objective truth, that we're all just, basically reinforcing this reality through our own belief systems. And again, we can go more into that whole rabbit hole as well. But the point of me sharing it is because there is a philosophical backing and training that I'm aware of, which is very complex and layered, about how do we distinguish when a message is coming from us through our own mind in this identity and incarnation versus when something is coming through us, whether it be through the emotional feeling tone, the weather, through the shared auric fields of other people, or directly from the angels, guides, ascended masters, or benevolent ancestors that are working with you in your field to help you in your journey. So if you like this content, I'm probably going to keep talking about it because it's really exciting for me. But let me know what you think about that, and if you have any questions, would love to answer more about this topic.